This is Suzanne from Dining Visions Hypnosis to speak to you about a problem that came up when I was doing the research regarding why mental health clinicians leave their practices. Isolation was one of those reasons, especially if you're in private practice. It can be really hard to work on your own and deal with the issues that our patients and clients bring to us. Sometimes those who work in agencies find a camaraderie among their peers that helps to alleviate this particular problem. I myself do not really suffer from this problem, I have to say, quite honestly, because when I was working in agencies, I found it to be rather frustrating in a lot of ways. However, for other people, it is a problem, and we need to understand that everybody is different. So there are actually places that you can interact with people who understand what you're going through and can even give you some really good input. LinkedIn used to be a really great place. I used to go into the mental health groups and share a lot of the ways that I work with my clients to help them let go of anxiety and depressed feelings, etc. With the use of hypnotism and neurolinguistic programming, I would actually go through step by step to explain how to actually do it. And the people who had asked the questions and received the input were really grateful. Unfortunately, there were those people, other mental health professional therapist people, who would sit there and say that it was wrong to do what we were doing there and that we needed to speak differently. My feeling is like this. We're all professionals, and if you cannot respect another professional's input and answer to another person's question to help them to overcome the problem that they were having, the reason to be in the group in the first place, best to keep your mouth shut because you're not part of the conversation anyway. Well, though I found the groups to have their positive parts and their negative parts, it was a helpful place in some cases. And it did feel good to be able to share my knowledge with other people at the time. We're talking about back in like 2004, 2005 or thereabouts. Unfortunately, a lot of the LinkedIn groups are nothing more than places for people to advertise their businesses or whatever it is they have on offer, which I find quite contrary to what it was back in the day. So what I did was I started my own group for state licensed healthcare professionals. So it's not just mental health professionals, but it's people who are state licensed in any kind of healthcare. Because after the COVID catastrophe, as I call it, many people who are licensed had to put up with a lot of garbage, either through the hospitals, their employers, because of the idiocy of the government policies. It's one reason why I chose not to live in the United States, among many. I'm actually in Albania up until sometime this summer, when I need to leave because my visa will be out. And I'll probably be going to Bulgaria and then back to Metzland, Mexico to go spend some time with my friends that I made there last year. However, that being what it is, I will leave the URL for my group on LinkedIn so that you can ask for admission into that group so long as you're a state licensed provider. I add information there all the time, things that you're not going to find in mass media, information that I get from the independent media that I pay for, so that you have a better idea of what's truly happening in the world of healthcare, as well as some of my own insights and understandings from all my years of work. I also do some education in there on hypnotism and neurolinguistic programming, since that is my healing modality of choice. I find it to be a really great thing to be able to give to my clients so they can actually heal their problems instead of having it managed for the rest of their lives. I don't believe in management unless someone has psychotic features or has a personality disorder, full-blown, because we can't help those folks, unfortunately. But otherwise, I don't know, probably 95 to 98% of the people who walk through my doors have been able to be healed and haven't looked back. That's including people with anorexia, bulimia, and sex addiction, among other things like depression and anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorders. All these things have been released and let go of by my clients over the 20 plus years I've been in practice. So if you're interested in actually learning how to do that yourself, I do have a 2-day VIP program training that I offer. I can only do one training a week and only so many during the year because I have to do the mentorship that's included in it so that people can learn how to apply the techniques as they're working with their patients. This is actually how I learned how to do this work really proficiently, calling Hawaii where my trainers were and asking questions like, what do I do in this case? Is what's going on? I don't want to cause any more problems. How do I best handle it? And they would tell me. I don't know of any programs in hypnosis or NLP training that offers any kind of mentorship, so this is something that's not available today as far as I know. Well, I think that's all I have for you for today. So, as always, I thank you for spending your time with me. Till next time. Bye-bye all.